Hi friends, thank you for joining me for another Pick a Card. This is a timeless reading, and although you see a lot of the Christmassy things out, this is not necessarily a Christmas reading whatsoever. This is more about a message for you, dear friend, a message of love, of hope, of inspiration, a message of hang on tight, and most of all, a message of how can you release things that are not serving you, not good for you, and how can you progress and get into the flow and get into where you fit in. So, I've never actually done an intro quite like that before, but that's what Spirit said, so that's what I did. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me and our little tiny community here. Get in where you fit in, please, and I hope that this message is inspiring. For the rest of you repeat offenders, thank you so much for returning. And without further ado, we're going to get started. I will be using a brand new deck, to me anyways. I'll be using the Colette Baron Enchanted Map. I've been eyeballing these for a long, long time, and here we are. So, for those of you that chose pile number 1, this is your reading. Pile number 1, I'd love to know, Spirit, what is going to be the thing that they need to know at this point in time? Wow. Ooh, the magic of prayer. I wasn't even ready, but Spirit was. Well, obviously that is pretty much self-explanatory. I am going to read from the little book, and in fact, before that, let us light some good little sage. Get some good vibes going here. So I know that what inspired me to do this particular reading is that a lot of us are alone, a lot of us are away from family, a lot of us are watching these commercials where it is the most wonderful time of the year, right? But for some of us, it's really not the most wonderful time of the year. It's probably, for some of us, the most stressful time of the year, maybe the most lonely time of the year, when we really sit and we're left to reflect how our lives don't match up to commercials, to Instagram, to Facebook, to TikTok, whatever. Perhaps we sit around and really reflect on things that have radically changed from even last year. So I kind of wanted to address all of those things in this reading. So we're going to go ahead and read the magic of prayer. It is the number 32, if you obviously notice. Another thing I want to tell you upon number 1 is that look at all of this here. It looks like she has some kind of a shrug put on that's made of like electricity or light, or I don't know. It's incredibly beautiful. It's almost like harnessing the northern lights and wearing it as a cloak. And so her face is turned up to the heavens, and I just feel like even before this reading, when I was meditating and praying, the message that I was getting is learning how to harness what it is that you have to get into the flow and step out into the fabricated world of television, of books, of iPads, iPods, of YouTube, all of it. Is to really set aside some real time instead of focusing on beautiful commercials that are orchestrated and things like that to make you feel even worse about what's going on. And I'm only laughing because, I mean, good grief, who can compare to those commercials? Probably some of you, but not all of you, if you're in this channel. And I just want to really encourage you that life isn't really fabricated, and if we continue consuming things that make us feel horrible, we're just going to continue to feel horrible. So I'm here to tell you all of that is bull crap, okay? Get out a little bit in the sun, get your fingers in some dirt, some gardening, whatever your case may be. But most of all, get you into the magic of prayer. Now, the number 32, as I started before, and I kind of went on a rant, it does really address change, fluctuation. People love to say uncomfortable. Well, my friends, pile number 1, if you're on this channel, I think that's bullshit. Okay, uncomfortable is just a load of crap, like everything is changing all over the place. Maybe where you live, maybe your work, maybe your friends, family, whatever. Maybe you look in the mirror and you don't recognize who you are any longer. And so the magic of prayer is going to really ground you with your own personal power, your own magic. You don't need TV magic, YouTube magic, or other people necessarily that you really want to support and uphold you in a time when you're feeling kind of vulnerable. And those things, we can't count on other people. We just can't. And so I'm just here to tell you, really count on the magic of prayer. And this says Golden Palace, there is always enough. The Golden Palace card represents good fortune, ambitions fulfilled, wealth, and prosperity. It may also indicate emotional fulfillment, as perhaps you're entering a time of happiness that's long overdue. The message here is that self-worth isn't measured by what you have, no matter how abundant your life is. Instead, it comes from what you are, how authentically you're living your life, how much love you're willing to share. Granted, receiving this card does indicate material gain and furthering of tangible rewards, but things come and go. And knowing your true value leads to even greater riches now. Share the wealth. And so to me, that was just even all about what we were talking about when we opened up with this reading. But definitely, I will tell you that prayer, if you don't believe in prayer, then meditating, whatever the case may be, connecting to source, your higher power, it is so powerful. You will feel instant peace. And I feel like you will have, because a lot of you guys are brain foggy, that's not a term, but it is now. I feel like that brain fog is going to dissipate, okay? So I am, if it is December, and if it is that you are feeling all those feelings of maybe feeling alone or whatnot, then I just want to send you a really big energetic hug, not even a viral hug, like a spirit hug from spirit, letting you know that you are definitely important, that regardless of what people say or may not say, you have a lot of value, and please don't measure it by the numbers in your bank account or how many people visit or anything that you see on television or social media especially. Okay, those are really just illusions, just like this whole little set here is an illusion. Okay, moving on. So for my pile number one, what else do we need to know for pile number one? Just to feel encouraged, how to get in the flow of what is beneficial, how to get in the flow of what's most authentically them, please. Pile number one, thank you. The Four of Wands. Really enjoying wherever it is that you have, whether you have a big old house with 20 million rooms or whatever, or whether you have a little shanty, a one-bedroom apartment, a studio, or even just a couch to lay your head on, anything of that nature. So whatever you call home is home. So the important part is that you are there. It is not about the house. Oh well, so we're getting a ton of sage ignited here. Pardon me while I open up a window. Alrighty. So I guess we're going to burn all the sage during your reading. Why not? Why not? But we're definitely wanting to get out all the negative vibes, all the things that just do not really fit in with our sense of self. And we need to move back into what gives us balance, what makes us feel prosperous, what makes us feel loved and stable. Now the number 4 right here, obviously is a prequel to this right here, the number 5. And what I will say about that is that this is addressing the 4 corners of the earth. So maybe you are, having a lot of thoughts, a lot of messages back and forth, a lot of maybe you're having messages with family, with friends, with anything that made you feel like that person was home, like your children, your parents, your grandparents, your best friends, even your coworkers. For some of you got really close to your coworkers or whatever. And so this is a time to really embrace people like that. and bring whatever it is that you can bring into your space, however you can do that. So for example, what I'm saying is that these two people are in the house, and yeah, that's a quintessential home and hearth and everything's stable, and the Four of Wands is about fire and ideas, and this is like really cementing and planting that you are home wherever it is that you go, that you are an incredible human being. You're an incredible person undergoing a human experience, and sometimes those experiences are not very fun, and we just need to support one another. So I'm saying that balance is going to be really, really important. Planting things that are stable, that maybe you have watched grow for a long time, is going to be important. So whether that's seeds of relationship, seeds of friendship, time, money, energy, effort, blood, sweat, tears, all of that, okay? Now I want you to notice also we've got two little birds here, and so you could have people like visiting, coming in to visit, and then they leave, and perhaps you're feeling a little bit sad, nostalgic about that, or wishing that those moments can be captured and kind of enjoyed longer. It's really, pardon me, all about our mindset. And these times are not easy for anyone. Look at all the brain fog in the back. That's fog. That's like not being able to really see the forest for the trees for some of us. But I wanted to show you the birds for a reason. It's like those birds cannot really necessarily live in that house. I mean, they can't cohabitate with those two people. They have different ideas, different lifestyles. Their quote nest is different. How they bathe, how they sleep, how they poop, of course. And so all of it is going to be really different. And as much as we want people in our lives sometimes, sometimes there is really a bigger reason as to why, you know, we're not together, or we just have to kind of accept that they live different lives. Even though I'm going to put this over here because I just think this looks really pretty. So we could really want these people in our lives permanently, like to lend more stability to us. But really the point of the matter is you are stable. You are the one that creates the balance. You are the one that thinks about, you know, the four corners of the earth and its compass and the stability of things. And maybe you are home to a lot of people and you don't know it. You are the hub. And even though people may not, especially now because of current events, perhaps people are not able to come back home to you, to visit you, things like that, whatever the case may be, or they feel like they can't because of current restrictions, mandates. I don't know your life. I'm just going to say that they want to come back to you. They always return to you. These little birds love to visit. They love your energy. They love you because you represent home. And so I feel like if these two people were not there, of course the house would be overridden by other trees and critters and whatnot. But the fact that you make this home, that you make this stable, is something that people count on, even though you may not see it. Ooh, hi. And I feel like that is reinforced because of the red roof, okay? So you provide a lot of stability to other people, although you may be feeling some sadness right now, which is what I initially was feeling as well when I opened up this reading. Another thing is, like, the magic of prayer is going to really center you and help you to feel that balance, to feel that peace that we're all seeking. And even to feel that self-esteem, like, okay, I do matter, even though nobody comes to visit, even though nobody writes or calls or whatever the case may be, that you are personally undergoing with your personal challenges. And it's easy for us to really believe that we are alone, that we, if we died, nobody would care, nobody, you know, even thinks about us and things like that. And it's really a challenging time and a challenging mindset to overcome. So I'm going to ask you to kind of get out of your mind just a little bit, establish stability through the magic of prayer. Okay, enough said. What else do we have, please, for my beautiful pile number one? Pile number one, what do we have for these? Let's find out. The Four of Emotions. So you could be in a place right now where you're getting some offers, where people are even, I heard for some of you lip service. for some of you, they're trying to make you feel like, okay, yeah, whatever, and you know better. It's almost like friends and family saying, oh yeah, I just can't because XYZ, or somebody's got to work or whatever. But you're not really having it. You understand that if there was a will, then there is a way. So you're looking at all the good times that have gone, that have transpired. You want to return to those good times. That's what makes you feel stable. And yet all of this lip service that forms this beautiful cup, chalice, whatever you want to call it, is not going to be helping you whatsoever. But it's almost like here, because I'm being led to that little light there, it's like you need to look at the nucleus of what it is that is being attempted to communicate, what they're trying to communicate. So people are trying to communicate how important you are and how much that they really do in fact love you. And it is not lip service, it is definitely truth in there. Even though you don't want to hear it, even though it bores you, even though you feel like it's a load of crap, and because simply we're in our ego, we want what we want. Okay, now I wasn't planning on talking about ego, but let's talk about ego. I do feel like for a lot of us, we are in our ego mindset, and it's going to be really important to connect through prayer, through meditation. It doesn't have to be like you're Zen all the time. 5 minutes will really reset and recalibrate your persona, your mindset, your spirit. It will replenish, rejuvenate, and anchor you. So please do that for you, because you matter, okay? Not because of other people. I mean, that's what people think is their own business, okay? Whether what they don't think, it doesn't even matter. And even a lot of times we think we know what people think about us, and we could be wrong, but it doesn't matter what people think. In the end, you're the one that pays your bills, you're the one that takes care of you. And so get more into the flow of who you are authentically. So whatever that means to you, please. All right. This thing of turning your back and saying, no, I don't want to accept that. I don't want to. I feel like there's an air of stubbornness, kind of like I want what I want. And let me tell you, I'm a Leo. I want what I want all the time. And it doesn't go well for me. I just want to share that. So how can my pile number 1 live more authentically? Be free from these emotions that are hindering and weighing them down, please. Whatever it is. Let's find out. Okay, jumper. 5 of Voices. And this is a 5 of Swords in your typical traditional tarot. And now if you see all these people here like meditating, it's almost like they're on the runway. And then we have birds and this smear of like red. And it's almost like, okay, so traditionally this is all about perhaps someone lying to you, getting away with murder, wanting to win for the sake of winning, and you don't want to see that, okay? So I feel like because it's red beams coming out of her eyes almost, it's almost like what you do see around you, if you were like calm and focused about and meditated about what you see going on within your family, within others, or whatever, even within the world, you're seeing a bunch of lies. And I feel like it's really painful. This X right here tells me that you don't want to see it, even though you do see it. So you see it loud and clear, but you're not wanting to face some realities about what's being dangled in front of your face. So perhaps people are like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and that's what your heart's desire is, and yet you know behind the scenes that they are lying. And there's a lot to be said about messages of birds coming your way, and you being able to see the truth through the light is the special power that I'm looking for. That is your term. That is the ability to look through bull and nonsense, okay? It's going to really help recalibrate, rebalance you. It's going to help you put you in connection with spirit, even though you don't want to see what it is that you see. I'm going to tell you right now, please do trust your intuition. Pile number 1, okay? So we're going to go ahead and pull one more card. I just see how powerful you are, and I hope that you are seeing the same thing for yourself, because being able to spot deceit, being able to spot people that want to win no matter what, is half the battle. So even if it is painful, it's going to put you in a position where you can see exactly what it is that's going on behind the scenes so that you can personally make your move or recalibrate and center yourself once again, not be dependent upon what it is that's dangled in front of you. Okay, what else do we need to know for thank you? Hello. So the 10 of Wands jumped out, spun around, and landed upside down. And I, for one, am super glad to see that. If you notice, this person is almost like in mourning. They are, you know, shrouded, kind of almost like operating under the radar, undercover, carrying the weight of the world, everybody's job. This person is doing everything, and they're exhausted, but all that they can do is put one foot in front of the other. And in order to make what they hope is progress. They can't even monitor. They have no barometer on how far they've come, because all they could do is put one step in front of the other. Otherwise she'll trip and get tangled on her dress or whatever this is, cloak. And I want to say that this is a lot of stubbornly also carrying things that don't belong to you. The fact that it's spun around, I feel like you're being able to see things a lot clearer than you ever have before. And with this, the 10 of Inspiration reverse is dropping all things that are illusions, that are fallacies, that are farce, that are, I want to use another F word, I'm not gonna. So you're going to be putting down burdens and things that don't belong to you, things that you have been expected to carry that are not yours, that are pure nonsense, okay? So for pile number 1, that is my reading for you. I do hope that you enjoy this style of reading. If you do, please smash that like button, like, share, comment, subscribe, and know that you are loved wherever it is that you are and whomever you are, okay? Much love to you, and namaste. Pile number 2, thank you so much for joining me. And without further ado, we are going to find out what it is that you need to know. What kind of gifts and surprises can help you. Oh my goodness. I wasn't planning on 2, and here we are. Let's go ahead. Right. So we're going to start out with this. We're going to start out with goblins, and I did get the Gentle Gardener, which this is a brand new deck to me. So I'll be reading a little bit from the good book. Let's start here. Number 5. So number 2, pile number 2 you guys chose. Pile number 2, this is your reading. So fear is an illusion. Choose love today. Forgive yourself and others. Goblins are born when you're wounded, and something essential is lost in that experience. From that point on, you forget your wholeness. They remain with you in the shadows. There they remind you of what brought them into being, mimicking your own voice, mimicking you into believing that you're unworthy, victimized, or unlovable. They hold you hostage through low self-worth, self-sabotage, and feeling that you're lacking what you need. If goblins pay you a visit, know that they represent the shadow of your own self or someone else's, and that they're leading you into a potentially reactive situation. A goblin's card appearance is an opportunity for growth, however, and a signal that you must love yourself. No human is without flaws. The goblin's message is that you must release resentments and negative self-talk. Within you is the spark of the divine. Ask Spirit to help heal you. Miracles can and do happen. Let go of the negativity. I love this. And I feel like this is going to blow your mind. Now, when I was meditating, I was getting the feeling in the sense of letting go and almost like grabbing an energy that is completely unseen. And to me, that is almost like spirit connecting to God, to spirit, to your higher, to source, whatever. And really doing away with things that you see in the 3D, which, I mean, doing away in the sense that obviously we all need a home, we all need our lives and our jobs and things like that, but not putting so much weight on things for things like keeping up with the Joneses or whatever. So that's what I was feeling. I feel like a lot of you guys in this pile could be my energy workers, my light workers. Also, the Gentle Gardener is a card that I got the other day, and I was actually really blown away at how it fits. I hope you enjoy this. A gentle gardener. Be your own person. Be a conscious co-creator. The gentle gardener is visiting you at this moment in your life to remind you that your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs create your reality you experience. She's the embodiment of energy within you that is sent out into the field of co-creation and ensures that all you are is reflected in the world form. Are you aware of your thoughts? What is their quality? Believe in limitless possibilities and you'll see miracles unfold. The gentle gardener guarantees the integrity of everything you send out into the world. Stay positive and expect wondrous results. Your garden is abundant with beauty. And I just want to ask you, like, what is your garden? Like, even if you're growing a little bean in a tiny itty bitty terracotta pot, is it not beautiful? The way it unfurls, the way it curls up, the way it seeks the light, the way you turn the pot and it bends and it seeks that light because it got moved into a darker position. And I just want you to really focus right now on your connection to spirit, to the divine, to even the energy in your hands. I think taking a little bit of time to meditate, we can all benefit from that. And right now I'm just seeing spotlight. So you could be in the spotlight, you could be attracting a lot of attention because of who you are. I feel like the more authentically you are who you are, the more people are going to be looking, and the more that you're going to be spotlighted. Spotlit, is that a word? I don't know, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to tell you. So I think that that's quite lovely. I think that you personally can feel energetically what is going on around you. And I think that you may even be connected with grandparents. I do feel like this pal also is in touch with their personal power. Number 2 is about balance and personal power to me. And so I love that. I think that you may have had a lot of things in gestation, different stages. Maybe you're growing little birds. Maybe you run animal rescue and you actually have physical birds and things like that. If you listen and you quiet your mind enough, you are going to get so many different lessons that spirit can teach you personally out of love and compassion and with the tools that you currently have. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need decks of cards. You don't need me. You don't need anyone. You just need to still your mind and be at peace and know that you are so precious, that God, source, and whomever, your higher power, is going to give you exactly what it is that you need just for you, because you're that special. I mean, that's like, I don't know, the highest person of power in all the world centering their attention on you and saying, you know what, I'm taking care of you and this is what you need and I'm going to help you. I mean, how incredible is that? All right. Some of you guys can also be having headaches, migraines. I'm getting pressure on kind of like my upper left side of my crown chakra. So they're like jabbing pains. You could be experiencing some pain with that. I'm hearing the words detox. You might benefit from a detox. Consult your doctor. I am not a medical professional. Use your common sense, please. What else do my pile number 2 need to know? Let's find out. The Queen of Voices. Okay. And it did come up reverse. So this is a Queen of Swords. This is somebody who's going to get through the nitty gritty, who has a deep connection to crows, to ravens, to birds. This could be somebody who is a mystic, but who typically, when she or he is in their energy, their proper energy, and their true energy, they cut through the quick of all the nonsense and all the clutter to be able to see things clearly, and that's what helps her fly. She's got her own wings. In this case, I feel like because it's reversed, you could be around somebody who is underhanded, who is kind of bitchy, who is mean with our words, or perhaps you yourself are exhibiting some of those things. And more information on this is Muse of Emotion. Okay. So something through this queen off balance, and we would like to get her, give her a tune-up. And the reason why I'm laughing is identify with this queen, okay? I've been there, done that, and I'm not proud of it, but yeah, we all go through our positive and negative personas, okay? And I just want to say that if that is you, no big deal. There's redemption. You can get back in your right mind again. We all go through really tough times where we're out of sorts. I do feel like there is a fatigue surrounding you and a tiredness actually that's causing you to not act in your best if this is you. Okay? So the muse of emotions, we have compassion, joy, the freedom to feel all the emotions as a way of self-discovery, transcendent states of bliss, meditation, inner calm, and knowing, being totally in touch with your desires and with balance and peaceful emotions, avoiding moodiness. So the prompt is rinsing the shadow. Come, tiny vessel of love, to the place where water drops off and pours everything into the sweet shell of life. This message is of highest love. It resides where all the bits and pieces of your anger and sadness are brewed and alchemized into a beautiful experience for the soul. For they too are experiences to be cherished and learned from. Come meditatively, quietly, calmly, with everything you are. Leave nothing behind, for you will need it all in this place of mindful understanding. Steer clear of manipulation and moodiness, and come into the night on the sweet waves of kindness, for those are the waves that will push you past the riptide. They will float you to the sandbanks of connection and invite you to explore your inner world with the gentlest of compassion. Your task is to simplify, be true to your heart, and accept the nature of what is, as the healing waters of pure love are headed your way. So I just want to say, I mean, this isn't all about love and light and unicorns and blowing smoke up your woo-woo. You know what I'm talking about, right? So life is tough, and we can get angry, and we can get bitter, and we can take all of those experiences that hurt us and that tore us down, and all of those things that we really took to heart that perhaps weren't even our wounds or our ish to be taken into account, okay? And sometimes that's what really helps us to relate to other people, to connect, to bond, to really learn where a person is coming from. And so I want to encourage you, gentle gardener, my pile number 2, represented by number 2 here as well, is to ignore the goblins, the fears, and the craze, and the madhouse of how the world is currently right now, and really focus on being balanced, focus on nature, being connected, being at peace, focus on even what you see around you. If you behaved in ways that you're not proud of, we all have, trust me. Okay, we're not here to be perfect. We are here, we're like spirit embodying human form, undergoing a human experience. And so nobody's perfect, but learn not to be so harsh on yourself. And out of these wounds, you can really grow beautiful things. You can have so much more empathy for other people. You could see things coming a mile away, being the Queen of Swords as well. So there's so many different benefits to embracing the positive and negative polarity. Some of you guys are going to be really interested in, I don't know if this is term herbology, herbs, whatever. And also, I'm looking at the connection to charcoal. Some of you guys can be drawing, sketching with charcoal, experiencing with charcoal, maybe have charcoal is a part of your diet. And yeah, you know, there's like charcoal pills or capsules that help you. I used to take them way back when, but so all of this, I mean, if this fits, and that's a message for someone, right? For others of you, know that you can lift the cloud by coming out of the state of emotion, and knowing to embrace even your wounds. When somebody's wounded that you love, you tenderly care for them. You don't condemn, you don't berate, you don't tear down. And so you're being asked right now not to listen to those goblins in your life that perhaps people have always done. Even if they've always done it out of their own personal wounds, and people step on others to make themselves feel better. And you know, that's a bunch of crap, but here we are. So hopefully you can take those experiences and start looking at things a little bit differently. What else do we need to know for my pile number 2, please? Pile number 2. Let's find out. I'm just getting jumpers left and right. Oh my goodness, you're getting all the big cards. Muse of Material. And if you look, she has been on a long journey. I feel like you have been on a long journey, dear friend, as well. I do also feel like you're going to be stepping through better times, a portal. You're headed towards better things for yourself. So you don't have to really stress and worry so much as all of us do. I'm like the Queen of Stress, unfortunately. So I'm going to say that is a special message to you. Connecting to trees, to the divine, to things that grow once again is being echoed here. For some of you guys gardening, some of you guys just eating more vegetables, sprinkling. Some of you guys moving into vegan, vegetarian life, plant-based. I don't know your life, but that's for someone. And I think that you're going to be able to start seeing the magic happen, the change. You're doing away with things that have torn you down and coming out of a dark period of your life. You are actually listening to things that really elevate and help lift you up, whether it's prayer or, I don't know, higher vibrations, spirit itself. You're seeing things that will help you along the way. The Muse of Material, abundance, earth energy, life, material success, journey of creating prosperity. Being able to provide for those you love, the joy of a well-lived grounding. The joy of a life well lived, grounding into the earth, gratitude, comfort, wealth, health, happiness. Dirt magic is your prompt. In the garden of life, she finds a door. Above it sits a muse of materials reflected in all of nature. She whispers from flowers, the grass, the trees. She flitters from the birds and babbles in the creeks. This muse uses all the materials of the earth to bring our world into form. She looks down and offers a lesson of manifestation, abundance. Sweet Creator, those things are yours for the taking and the asking. So be sure that you are, again, connected to spirit and connect with elements around you, okay? Because that is a bridge into prosperity, and I feel like you know it, and you are moving away from this energy. It's okay to identify it. I feel like you landed here just to know that even the ugly times, the dirty times, the times that you might feel ashamed about are worth something. They happen for a reason, and we might not fully comprehend it. But I think that you have learned an enormous amount and become more expansive because of those really tough times. And so I just want to tell you, extend mercy on yourself, such as you would anyone else. And with that, my lovelies, I hope that you have an excellent time. Know that you are well loved and cared for and revered and looked after. If you like this reading, please do smash that like button, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And namaste. Until next time. Hi, pile number 3. Thank you for joining us. My name is Grisel, Psychic Envy, here to do your reading. Without further ado, I want to go ahead and light some sage just because we can, right? So today we're talking about energy, how you can connect with your most authentic self. For those of you that chose pile number 3, this is going to help you connect with your inner navigational system and for things to be a little bit clearer, a lot bit clearer. Pile number 3. What do we have for thee? Let's find out. Stuck in the mud. What? Stuck in the mud. I'm only laughing because that's a term my mom would use for me all the time. You're such a stick in the mud. Live a little. Okay. Stuck in the mud. You're being invited to stop and savor the wonder of your life. Becoming stuck is sometimes the only way to trick yourself into slowing down and looking around you. In fact, this is a sign that you need to shift your focus away from what you're doing and place your attention elsewhere. Struggling will only get you even muddier places. Now is not the time to move forward, but to observe. Interesting, huh? That's not what we think at all. Clarity about your circumstances will come a little later. Stop and find the joy in what you've been overlooking. Soon you'll be out of the mud. But for now, be still and know that Spirit has a plan for you. So if you are feeling stuck, if you feel like you cannot move forward, there is a reason for it. While this elephant is looking to move ahead towards the future, this little bird is actually looking behind. It's like, look at all the places you've been through, where you've traveled, perhaps how you got stuck in immobility or the appearance of immobility, and collecting your thoughts. I feel like not only is there mud around you, you might feel like no matter how hard you fight, you battle, you try to swim out of things or make headway or any progress, it feels like you're standing still and treading water, okay? So for those of you who are into like aquatics, synchronized swimming, I don't know your life, right? But for any of you guys that have been in a pool or any form of body of water, some of you guys don't swim, and I get that, I respect that. But you know that if you have anything like a floating device that has air in it and you try to have the same motion with that and sink it in the water, it's going to make your swimming a lot more difficult because you're so buoyant. I don't know, but basically the gist of the message is it's time to look around and don't fight so much, because maybe you're not headed in the right direction. Maybe you need some time, maybe you need peace, maybe you need rest, maybe you need clarity, maybe you just simply need to enjoy what is around you and be in the moment. Excuse me. And with that, I'm feeling like that is absolutely something that could be a thing for you, is just not being in the moment, not being present can make you feel stuck because there's no progress to be made at this point in time. So 4, 5, 6 is actually a number of success, and maybe you need to stop and celebrate and look at the successes that you've had in the past, where you have come from, how far you've come, all the things that you've accomplished. Maybe take a minute to celebrate those things. Take a minute to rest, take a minute to reflect, take a minute even to send out gratitude. From gratitude springs a wealth of progress, I feel. Energetically can recalibrate and reset you. I also think of mud as how people think that, well, some people think that mud is like bad, like being stuck in mud is bad. Maybe initially at a first glance. When you think about it, a lot of the movie stars pay top dollar to go and get these mud baths. I personally have had a mud bath. And, you know, what the intent is to detoxify and purify your skin. So there's a lot of different ways to look at things, and being stuck in the mud doesn't have to be a negative thing. So some of us are trying to run away from the mud and muck of life, and others are trying to run towards it, like people that have just like too much money, that are isolated, that just have no grounding, and honestly spend money on foolish things because they think it can make them happy or whatever. Or people just buying day spas to get some mud put on their skin, or some people eat clay. I mean, there's so much out there. So I want you to think of what you consider is mud and what is holding or sinking you or sticking you and preventing you from having progress, and seeing how that is beneficial. The fact that you can be in the moment, the fact that you don't have to make progress, that you could just stop and rest for a moment, that you can breathe for a moment, that you can look around for a moment, that there is no rush to move from the place that you're in, but experiencing the moment within. Breath work for some of you can be a really big help at this point in time as well, okay? What else do we have? For my pile number 3, please. Helpful messages for pile number 3. Let's find out. I'm also hearing some of you guys need to drink more water, by the way. Page of Voices. So yeah, this is a time to analyze, to stop and think about where you've been, where you're headed, and celebrate all the things that have brought you here, even the tough things, even the things that you thought, wow, I never thought I would survive that, and being able to see the beauty that's come out of that hardship. Pearls are not made out of sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns, okay? They're like this little grain of sand that keep wearing and wearing and irritating until eventually does become a pearl. And that's something to consider. You could really be telepathic also. You could be gaining a lot of wisdom. You could be gaining higher power perspective. That was said really awkwardly, I'm sorry. Gaining perspective through higher power, through meditation. And I think that it's going to change the way that you view things. Some of you guys do need to go to an eye doctor and get your eyes checked because you need a new prescription. And some of you guys would benefit from dancing, enjoying things and seeing how everything is a dance of life, that nothing has to be linear and perfect or what you perceive to be as perfection. A lot of times we could cause a lot of stagnation in what we think is perfect. And these jumped out, so I'm taking them for you. I have the 9 of Material and the Ace of Inspiration. So I'm feeling like with the Ace of Inspiration, you're going to, once again, once you start getting your downloads from Spirit, slow down and just kind of enjoy the moment where you're at, whatever that is to you. You're going to get your inspiration. You're going to get your mojo. Some of you guys have connection to indigenous roots. Some of you guys are really focused on ancestry and getting downloads. Some of you guys are thinking about your DNA, and if you have DNA that has a propensity towards certain diseases, this is for one person maybe. So I'm seeing that clear here. Some of you guys are gaining clarity and understanding. Others of you are really thinking about how you can let go of attachments that are created within your mind, or attachments that you have dealt with of old, okay? That you've, maybe that elephant's carried that bird on its back for a long, long time, and it's an attachment. The bird became attached to it, perhaps. And so in this scenario, then you are looking at all the ways that you have really carried barnacles on your back, people that have not helped you, have maybe leached off of you or drained you energetically, mentally, materially, especially materially, and spiritually as well. People that don't pull their own way and they are in it to see, kind of like a tick or a barnacle, or I don't know, like an energetic attachment, okay? So whatever it is that, you know, you could have older children who can take care of themselves leeching off of you, whatever the case may be. And you could have a parent who can do for themselves, but instead they leech and depend on you for things. Whatever it is, I feel like you're going to start speaking your truth in these scenarios. The fog is going to be lifting and revealing more of the green blue sky, and that's going to help you to really open up your heart once again and not have to be self-protective of all these little leech tick things. I heard bloodworm, I don't know, but even she has like this cacti behind her. Like if she steps back anymore, she's already leaning pressed up into it. So it could be that you are getting yourself out of that stagnation, that mud, feeling like you have nothing that has your back except for the prickly pear, right? And you're going to gain different perspective. You're going to take a look at whatever has blistered you, has leached blood out of you, your life force, and you're going to transform and transmute it into these beautiful colors. You're going to learn how to paint with those experiences, okay? So transformative power is definitely well within your grasp, in your hand as well. And another thing is you are going to come into some money, or you're going to be well off. Materially, I see you doing just fine. Now, once again, these little dots and things in the background look to me like old school when we would take a test and you would bubble the A, B, C, D, and then they would put it through some kind of a scanner machine to tell you what your grades were. You only can use a number 2 pencil, and you better not screw it up. That kind of a thing. For those of you old-timers like myself, I know you know what I'm talking about. For the rest of you, I guess you'll have to take my word for it. But it seems like you're passing some sort of exam, some sort of cycle, and each time you elevate your game, each time you come out on top, each time you grow from the experience, each time, even though hard-pressed and quizzed in unfairness, and maybe you break through the coals for some of you guys wind up passing the test, coming out on top, growing regardless of the cactus that's pressed against your back, making sure that those cacti bloom for you if that's what's needed, right? And I feel like you are just embracing life, learning how to transmute all of the quote negative things in your life into something that really helps you bloom and grow, okay? So maybe this person learned that there's so much cactus up my back, cacti, that maybe I'll just chop it down and create baby cacti. Is that a term? I don't know. And she turned around and waited till they started budding and sold it. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe she made aloe vera with them. Maybe she started frying food with it or making food with it, however that is made. I forget the term, the proper term, nopales, okay? So maybe she made nopales out of it. Or whatever the case may be, it went from this succulent, from the prickly pear to the succulent to a full bloom, to a rose, a flower. And so I think that you're learning how to take whatever it is that's thrown your way and transmuting it into something bigger and greater and better. And you've taken your experiences, it's given you a tough skin. And with those experiences and that tough skin, you'll be able to move forward when the time is right. But for now, sip warm tea with lemon, sip warm water, whatever. It is a thing, by the way, just plain warm water in the morning. Some people do, I've done it. But drinking water can really help rehydrate you, recalibrate you, get rid of some of that brain fog, and also, water your own garden, even picturing how seeds are growing within you and allowing the seeds time to bloom forth. But I do feel like you're going to be embracing everything with zeal, with excitement. I think that everything you touch does bloom, that you pass the test, all with flying colors. I heard any wrench that's thrown, you make the party, okay? So I don't think that you have anything to fear here whatsoever. It's just a pause for you, loves. What else do we have for my pal number 3? Pal number 3, let's find out. The page of material. So now once in full bloom and you see how you can transmute things, maybe perhaps you lost a job or 2 or 5 or 10, I don't know, and you wind up taking your skills and revamp it. You're like, okay, for example, I used to be an optician, and maybe you revamped those skills and turned around and started visiting nursing homes and repairing eyewear and helping adjust and helping dispense, or you took a job that did things like that for the prisoners, or you created a job. To me, this is more creating and investing your time, energy, and effort into something. So I feel like with the Ace of Wands here and the Page of Material, it's like your ideas are coming into full bloom. So you've tried many different things, and you've taken many different things and promoted yourself and grown yourself. And just like a true, beautiful rose, you have grown from nothing into full bloom and gorgeousness. And I think that your mindset, it's like you're finally into your chi, I heard, okay? And your mindset is really all about what causes that abundance in your belly, that fire, that excitement, that bloom. And you watching things grow from nothing, from the dirt, from earth, and trusting yourself. So whatever it is, it gives you excitement. I'll give you another example for those of you that aren't super creative, okay? I don't know. But another idea is, for example, if you are a caretaker, and let's say you get let go or you leave a job and there's no jobs out there because of whatever reason, so that person would kind of think about what they love. For example, if they love cooking for their patients, for their chargees or whatever you want to call them, then they would go ahead and look around the neighborhood and see, okay, who can I cook for? These are my neighbors, and I have 5 neighbors who would gladly accept a meal that they don't have to prepare with their own hands. So maybe I can cook for them and earn a nominal fee. Like twice a week I can cook for them and get their diets and their menus all straightened out, and then I can stop by and just deliver those meals. Or maybe I can, part of, caretaking is companionship, so maybe I sell my services, such as my company, my personal company, so I go and enjoy a meal with you, or safely, of course, the whole thing with the world today. Use these examples as you may, in a wise fashion. But maybe it's selling your company, so you come with a whole package, and it is a service that I provide. So here you have a meal, but you have someone to enjoy it with. So we're going to sit, partake in a meal together. Obviously, you can probably only do that, like if you have 5 people, that's going to keep you busy once a day with a different client or whatever. So that would be a thing. If some, let's say you're caretaking and some of your clients miss gardening and they love gardening, and you feel like food prep is not safe, although you enjoy it, whatever the case may be, or you don't have food handlers license, and that's another obstacle that you see. I feel like you'll be using fluidity in your mind to think of ways that you can do to elevate and create new things that were never in existence before. So with those clients that love to garden that cannot do so any longer, maybe you set aside time and say, okay, this is a 2-hour window. I'll come once a week, once every other week, and then we'll bring your wheelchair outside, or whatever the case may be. I'll pull you close to the window. We'll interact. I'll bring the pot to you to help you plant, to help you put your fingers in the dirt, to help you feel those seeds that we're planting, to help you water, whatever the case may be. I don't know. But bottom line is that you can create something out of nothing easily, and it just takes faith, belief, excitement, creativity, and a willingness to do the work. It's funny because right now I just happened to look up, and one of my things, it looks like it's a middle finger. Okay, I'm going to show you this right now, just so you know I'm not lying. Okay, this to me, how can I zoom in? It looks like a middle finger right there. I'll see if I can highlight it. Anyways, so you might be thinking, well, maybe you're giving me the middle finger, like, oh, things are not that easy. I don't know. But regardless of what the case may be, you can definitely change things for yourself, for those around you, and help yourself grow and be abundant, because I see it. Okay, you've passed all the tests in the past. Why would you not be able to create for yourself in this point in time? And I just urge and encourage you, do not look at things linear. Do not look at what has been, what the world is currently, and what is, you don't have to sell things on Amazon. You don't have to go back to things the way they were. For example, another example is I've taken up canning. That is not everybody's thing. It is currently my thing. But if I really wanted to, I, already have a friend who is collaborating with me, actually. And so because he can't do it himself, then he can buy some of the supplies while I personally put in the time. And we both benefit from that. And of course, we share the canning goods. So things like that. But that would be something that I'm currently doing, not for money right now, where it's a shared service. And I do it as I can. So if I wanted to expand on that, I have other friends who are interested in things like that too. So at that point, I can turn around and say, okay, well, if I had, let's say, only 3 friends interested in this, what if I charge, supplies plus my time, and plus a little extra to be able to make it worth my time? And I do it only on my days off, because I do work full time right now, plus I do this. And so I can make a little profit. Maybe, what if that only paid my electric bill? Well, great. There we have something. And you can continue down that rabbit hole and grow it as you see fit. Fit in. Yeah, get in where you fit in. So it's just, those are like small ideas. You can do this with sewing. You can do this with virtually anything, or virtual classes. So many different ways to make things work for you. So that's what I have for you. I just want to encourage you that look at the vast difference from this, all the mud, to this. Another thing I heard was No Mud, No Lotus. That is a book I encourage you guys to read if you're readers. Excuse me. I do feel like your heart chakra may be at this point kind of blocked or a little bit shut down. Again, connecting to Earth is going to work miracles for you. So with much love, I hope that this was encouraging to you. If you like this kind of reading, please do smash that like button, like, share, comment, subscribe. Do look out for my other pick a card readings that I have up, and leave me a comment. Let me know what pile you were. Thank you. Much love. Namaste.